In the previous slides, we already have knowledge about the operator, how we deal with the operator in Java, and how we can determine some kind of arithmetic operators. For example, how to determine the odd and even number, and how we can determine the next 10 days using the mathematical operators. In this section, we are going to learn about variables. So the variables, we learn about the identifier, and then we will learn about data types. Let's suppose we have this problem. Let's calculate the area of a circle. Do you know area? The area of a circle, if I have a radius, the radius, a circle, and I have a radius, r, and what is the area of the circle? We can have the formula, the area equals to radius multiplied by radius multiply height. So what is your solution in Java? We can see that the radius equals to 5. And you can just write 5 multiply by 5 multiply by 3.14159. Okay. So we can write in Java. Let's create a new section here. So for the section 2, let me create a package. So in the SRC, okay, in the SRC, you can go to the new. So there are many options here. You can create a new Java project. You can create a new project. You can create package. The package here means folder or directory. You already learned how to create class. So it's Java class. Now I'm going to create a package, and this package name, let me use section 02. Section 02. After I write the package name, section 02, I can click finish. So you will have a new package, section 02. Now let's make a new Java class. And I wrote here the Java class name is circle area 01. You can go to the package section 02, and then you can click new, and then you create a new Java class. Okay, so under the section 02, you can right click and then click new, and then click class. So there will be a pop-up to write what is your Java class name. In this case, I will write circle area 01. Yeah, actually, you can write any name, but just for consistency, I will make this circle area 01. And then you can leave all the things as the default, like the modifiers, public, none, And then we have the super class interface. And do not forget to check this one. And you can click finish. Okay, one more time. Write the name, circle area 01. And then don't forget to check the public static void main and finish. So you have a new class. The name of the class is circle area 01. And let me write the equation. System dot out dot println 5, which is the radius, multiplied by 5, multiplied by 3.141. What is the number? 159. 159. And do not forget the semicolon. In Java, you need to end your statement with semicolon. If you finish with this statement, don't forget to save. Every time you make changes on the Eclipse, it is recommended to save your file. You can press Ctrl S to save the file, and after you save the file, you can run it. So you will get the area. This is 78.53975. Now, the question is, I know that the radius equals to 5, and I know pi equals to 3.14159. Can we improve the code? Yeah, there are still many things that we can improve. For example, we can use variables. So what is variable? Variable is a container to store data values. Variable is assigned with a data type. And in Java, there are several types of variables. We can call as local variable. We can call instance variable, and we can have static variable. And there are two types of data types in Java. The first type is primitive, and the other is non-primitive. What we are going to learn today is the primitive variable. I already explained to you about identifier. Identifier is a sequence of characters that consists of letters, digits, underscore, and dollar signs. So when you are going to write your Java class name, you still remember you can write the math calculator. Okay, so this is legal to make as an identifier. But if your identifier start with number, then it is illegal. So you already learned from the previous section about identifier. The identifier must start with a letter A to Z, small a to small z, or it can start with underscore, it can start with dollar sign, but it cannot start with a digit. An identifier cannot be a reserved word. So in Java, there are many reserved words. For example, if. And then we have another reserved word for, while. continue, and so on. So if you use that kind of word, it is not valid. An identifier cannot be true, false, null. So it is also not available. An identifier can be of any length. You can write your identifier as long as possible, but it is not efficient. For example, I want to write address in South Korea while I am here. Yes, you can write this one. But the variable length will affect your code, especially if you have a lot of variables. It's not easy to remember the variable name. So when we are dealing with the data types, there are several data types that you need to understand for Java. I put the section here. It is based on the natural number. Do you still remember? When we discuss the mathematical operators, we deal with integer, 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 integer. So the integer values, which is about the natural numbers, there are 4 different types. The first type is byte. We can use byte when the size is small and the range of the value is also small. So the value will be only from 1 to 8 negative until the positive of 1 to 7. If the type is short, then the size will be 16 bits. So the memory that will be consumed is about 16 bits, and the range of the value will be in this value. For integers, int, the size will be about 32 bits, and the range of the value will be these values. And the long, the size will be 64, and you can see the value is very big. There are another type, which is the real number. We distinguish into 2 types, float and double. For the float, the size is 32 bits, and this is the range. For the double, this is the size, and this is the range. So it's very long. So do you know what does it mean by this exponent? If I have like 2 exponent 10, it means it is 2 multiplied by 10 power of 10. So we have like 2, and the number of 0 are 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so I don't know how to say it in Korean. So this is the scientific number. You can check on your scientific calculator. Usually we represent this one when we need a very big number, and usually the calculator or the monitor will have only limited space, so the notation will be shortened like this one. In this case, if it is exponent 45, then it is like 2 multiplied by the 10 power 45. So you can see that it is very big value. We will also learn about character, char. So char is Unicode character. The size is 16 bits and it is a single character. For example, A or any symbol, N or dollar symbol or euro symbol or any other symbol. We call this is the character. And last data type is Boolean. Boolean contains only true or false. It is 1 bit, so it's very small. And there is no range because it has only 2 values, true or false. Now, questions. If I want to make a variable and the value is about the temperature in degrees Celsius, what is the good data type? Integer or double or byte? Temperature in degrees Celsius. You don't need to answer. Temperature in degrees Celsius. Can you say what is the degree now? Okay, now it's 14 degrees Celsius. 14.0 Celsius. Then what is the good data type? Integer, double, or byte? Any answer? No answer on the chat? So the answer is if you use byte, what is the value? It is natural number. What is natural number? If my value is 14.0, is it integer or it is a real number? Is it a natural number or it is a real number? By the definition, natural number is number without decimal. A number, maybe in Korean, 자연수. Yeah. Then it is just a number 5 or 10, 20, 25 without any comma. But the real number, it contains decimal. And if we have like 1 decimal, what is the good data type? The good data type will be in this section, real number, because we have the decimal. Even though it is .0, but it is still a decimal. Okay. Then, among the two, float and double, what is the best one? Yeah, it's up to you. You can choose float because it is smaller in the range. You can choose double. Yeah, it depends on your needs. in the float, the size is smaller than double. But we have only this option, and I will choose double for the number 1. Now, number 2. The population of cities in Korea. What is the good data type? Integer or double or byte? Integer. Okay. There's one answer. Ichino. Thank you. Any other answer? The population of cities in Korea. The population of Ingu. So how many people are there in Yongin? Maybe 1 million? More than 1 million. Maybe, yeah, let's suppose we have 2 million, for example. Okay? 2 million people live in Yongin. So what is the meaning by 2 million? Is it a natural number or it is a real number? Yeah, natural number. Okay, if it is a natural number, then the option will be in this range. We have 4 options. We can choose byte, we can choose short, we can choose integer, we can choose long. But the population in Yongin is 2 million. Is it okay with byte? No. Why? Because the range is too small. So we need to change, we need to choose the bigger range. So the bigger range is integer. Then the good data type for the value for population of cities in Korea is integer. Okay. Your grade point average, GPA, 학점. Yeah. Sorry. Right. So your hakjam will be maybe 4.33 or something. Then is it a natural number or real number? No, it is a real number. If it is a real number, then you need to check from the real number. What is the option? You can choose either float or double. Okay. We have only the choice of integer, double, and byte. Then what is the best one? Double. Okay. A person's age in years. So if I ask you, how old are you? Oh, my age is 20.5 years old. Okay. Is it like this one? No. Okay. You will answer my age. I'm 20 years old. So what is 20? Real number or natural number? Natural number. And then what is the best among integer or byte? Byte. If you take a look on the range is in between -1 to 8 until 1 to 7. It seems it is enough because it is very rare to find someone who lived more than 127 years. Then I can choose byte. Okay. What about a person's weight in kilogram. Person's weight. Momugi. So if I ask you, how's your weight? Can you answer, oh, I'm 30 kilogram? Yeah, if you have a good measure, maybe you will get kind of point. My weight is 30.5 kilogram. So if you have decimal, then is it real number or natural number? Real number. If it is real number, we have only one option, which is double. Okay, so this one double. Person's height in meters. Height, key. So I'm 180, sorry, in meters. How can I do it? So if it is in meter, so my height in meter is 1.8 meters. What is the best data type? It is real number, double. Okay. Distance in kilometers. If we have only the natural number, let's say distance from Seoul to Busan is about 400 kilometers. Okay, then you can use integer. But if you have a very specific value, let's say the distance is 454.3 kilometers, then you need to use double. Number of days of the month in 2019. So in 1 month, how many days are there? January, we have 31 days. In February, we have 28 days. In March, we have 31 days. So what is this value? It is a natural number. Okay. Number of soccer players. For one team, the soccer player will be 11. So if there are 2 teams, then we have 22. Then maybe in one game, we have 22 players. What is the good data type? Integer or byte? Because the value is very small, then we can use byte. Okay. The number of family members. So how many brother and sister do you have? What is the best data type? Brother and sister, Youngjae. If we have 5, okay, yeah, we can say it is small number. Can we have our brother and sister more than 120? I think it's impossible. So we can just use 5 and so on. So it depends on the value that you want to use. So you can choose the data type. So there are 3 steps in using the variables. First, you need to declare, give the variable a name according to the identifier rule, and you can initialize, and you can assign. So the declaration means you need to make one variable name. Let's say I want to make area. Okay. So this is also a variable name. And then you need to initialize. let's say I know that the area will start with 0, or area will start with 1, or area will start with 5. So any number will be fine. So you need to give the initial value. And you can assign a new value if it is necessary. Let's say I want to assign area equal to the radius multiplied by the radius multiplied by the pi. So it means I want to assign a new value by this mathematical operation. Okay. This is how we can declare the variables. If your values will be integer, then you need to put the data type in front of the variable name. If this is the variable name radius, and you know that the radius will be a real number, then you need to define the double or the data type in front of the variable. And if you have a to represent a character variable, you can also define the data type before the variable. So integer, double, and char is the data type. And when we want to assign a value or assign some kind of, let's say if it is a real number, you assign 1.0. If you put the natural number, you assign only a single number. If you have a character, you assign a character. Then the assignment should have the equal sign. And if we want to declare and initialize, we need to define what is the data type, what is the identifier or the variable name, and then let's assign with equal sign, and let's put a value. In the second example, the data type is double, and then this is the variable name. We assign with equal sign, and then we assign a value. So let's see with this example. I would like to create circle area 02. I guess you already know how to create a new Java class. So now I'm using the section 02 and I'm creating a new Java class. So in the section 02, I'm creating a new Java class, and let's make a new Java class circle area 02. And then I will make the main method. And let me just copy and paste this one. Or maybe because we are still in the first one, because we are still in the first part, maybe you can practice to write, okay, practice to type. First, I define integer radius. Okay. I would like to declare the variable. So I have one variable which is radius, and the radius will be integer. Now I'm going to assign, based on the problem that we had before, the radius will be 5. So I will put the value 5 into the variable radius. And after I have this radius equal to 5, I would like to define a new variable which is area, and the area is a value of radius multiplied by radius multiplied by 3.14159. Don't forget that every of the Java statement should be ended with semicolon. And after we have this, I would like to print. I would like to see the output. So I can write system.out.println. What is the output? I want to see the area. So I can just call the area. And after you have this 4 line of codes, you can run. And the result is the same. But we are using variable. Okay. Okay, I guess it's too small. I don't know how to enlarge this one. Let me check later. Okay, any questions? So in this case, yeah, if you have a new value, let's say the radius is not 5, but I want to change to 6. So it will be easier. You can change the value to 6 and then you can run and you will see a new value. So your code will be easier. If you use the circle area 01, you need to change this 6 and then you need to change this 6. And then if you run again, yeah, the result is the same, but your code is not efficient. You need to change many things. For this code, it is much easier. Okay, I guess due to the time limitation, I will continue the next section in the next class. Any questions?